Hi, my name's Warren Plaut, and I'm president of the Graphic Communications International Union, Local 48B. We represent workers at Dennison National here in Holyoke. I'm looking forward to meeting as many of you as possible when I go to Mississippi, but we're also making this video in order to bring greetings to you from the workers here in Holyoke. We want to share with you a little bit of the history of Holyoke, Dennison National, and the union itself. We're hoping that when you meet some of our members, this will encourage you to take the first step towards forming a union of your own. You're looking down here on the Connecticut River in Holyoke, Mass. Over 100 years ago, some rich people from Boston picked this spot near Springfield, Mass. to build a dam on the Connecticut River, and thus began Holyoke, Mass., the first planned industrial city in America. They built the factories, canals, and workers' housing at the bottom of the hill. They built the managers' houses partway up the hill, and the rich people built their mansions on the top of the hill. What a plan. Here's the dam on the Connecticut River. The dam provided cheap power and a steady water supply for the canals, which were used to float logs to the paper mills. At its peak, 28 paper mills made Holyoke the largest paper manufacturing city in the world. 26 of the 28 paper mills are now shut down. Around the turn of the century, a paper converter, National Blank Book, moved from New York City to Holyoke in order to be closer to the paper supply. For a long time, National Blank Book was a family-owned business. The Town family is fondly remembered for how they treated their workers. Unions were no stranger to Holyoke. In fact, the Paper Workers Union was started here, and Local Number 1 is still in existence. In the 1930s, a wave of union organizing swept the country, and it reached National Blank Book. Our local union began with the Bookbinders Union in the old American Federation of Labor, the AFL. Recently, we came across this contract from 1944. It was a crude beginning, but you have to start somewhere. It had no medical insurance, no pension plan, only 1 week's vacation, only 6 paid holidays, and a very weak grievance procedure and seniority language. Apparently, women were second-class citizens because the contract said, and I quote, "Preference shall be given to regular male employees in opportunities to work overtime." The next 25 years saw steady progress as the union negotiated holidays, vacations, better wages, medical insurance, a pension plan, a job bidding system for new jobs, a layoff procedure, a grievance procedure, and much more. In 1967, the Town family sold out to Dennison Manufacturing, one of the 500 largest corporations in America. Slowly, management changed and the relationship with the workers changed. The company also expanded to Chicago, Los Angeles, and Meridian, Mississippi. We're here at lunchtime outside the mill, and I have with me Melvin Fennell, who's a member of our union executive board. Mel, how long you worked at National?
15 years.
And what's your job there now?
Janitorial service.
Okay, and about how much do you make an hour, Mel?
9 1/4.
Okay. What interested you in the union that got you to run for executive board? Why'd you run for that spot?
I feel like you should find out more about the people and what it's all about.
Okay. And you think the union's been able to help people since you've been involved?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how do you think the company would treat people the same here at National if we did not have a union?
No, they would not.
Okay. And how about for the folks down in Mississippi? Do you think it'll help them to form a union?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Mel.
We all set?
Okay. Okay.
Let's say what trip we're going to Springfield, right?
Good. This is Doug Boudry, who's a steward in Department 24. How long have you been in National now, Doug?
10 years.
And what's your job?
I'm a Thompson press operator.
Okay, that's a stamping press, right?
Yep.
And how much do you make an hour?
$9.97.
Okay. Now, your father's been active in unions for a long time, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Okay, and what's his position now?
He's president of Eagle Lodge Local Number 1.
Okay, we mentioned that's the paper workers union that
Right.
started here in Holyoke, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why'd you run for union steward?
I felt that everybody should get a fair shake, and that's what I felt they needed in that department.
Do you think you get a fair shake or more of a fair shake when you have a union?
Definitely.
Okay. And how about down in Mississippi? You think it would help them to form a union?
Sure would.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Doug.
No problem. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex Chenard, and I'm a knife operator in Holyoke at Dennison National. I'm a grade 6. I make $10.39 an hour. I believe you should join the union because the union is job insurance. You buy life insurance, you should buy job insurance. I'm also on the Health and Safety Committee, and I really suggest that everybody down in Mississippi join us up here in Holyoke.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, this is Teddy LaRose, who runs the same stamping press that I used to run before I became union president. How long have you been with the company now, Teddy?
5 years now.
Okay, and you're a Colbus stamper, right?
Colbus stamper, that's right.
And how much do you make an hour?
$8.33.
Okay. Do you think the company would treat you the same if we didn't have a union?
No, I don't.
Okay, and you were a union steward in the past also, weren't you?
Yes, I was, for 1 year.
Okay, do you think that you were able to help people when you were a steward when they had problems?
Yes, I did. I helped quite a few people.
Okay, thanks a lot, Teddy.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, this is Bill Jaycox. Bill, how long you worked at National?
23 years.
Okay, and what's your job now? Where do you work?
I'm a plater.
In the plating room.
In a plater.
Okay, and how much do you make an hour, Bill?
I'm making $10.39 an hour.
Okay. Now, a while back you got hurt in the plating room. How'd that happen?
I was lifting, pushing baskets over. They don't have any kind of a hydraulic lift or anything like that, and that's how I got injured. I was out for approximately a year. Then when I did come back, I involved a union, and I found some changes in there. And they put a new hydraulic lift table in there, and since then it's been going pretty well.
Okay. And you had some trouble collecting your workers' compensation, your money while you're out also, didn't you?
I certainly did. They gave me a bad time about that, but then again, I had some help from this union, and we had a lawyer involved, and I finally get my settlement.
Okay, so you had to go before the Industrial Accident Board, and then you won your case, right?
Yes, I did.
And I heard you got your check yesterday?
Yes, I did.
And how much was your check for?
$2,820.
All right, sounds pretty good.
Great.
How
Long
is
time coming, but I got it.
Okay. So how do you feel about working in a place that's got a union, Billy?
I feel secure.
Yeah. You think it makes a difference?
Oh, very much so.
And do you think it would help the people in Mississippi if they had a union?
My opinion, yes. Yeah, I would think so, very much so. I don't know what the circumstances are down here, but down here we have our problems down here, and if it wasn't for the union at times, I'd find myself in a lot of trouble myself. So I'm sure they could use a union out there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bill.
Okay. Thank you.
Good. We're up in our union office now, and you're looking at a painting that's called Freedom of Speech. It's a right and a freedom that we hold very dear, and we exercise whenever we can. This is the meeting room where we have our executive board and our grievance committee meetings, and my office is right in the back over here. And we're going to bring you out into the front room and show you our hardworking secretary and our staff putting together this month's newsletter. And this is our front office. They're just putting together the newsletter for this month. On the left here we have Pam Bernier. Pam, say hi.
Hi.
Pam's our office secretary. And over here we have Diane Brady, who hopefully is going to be going with us to Mississippi. Diane, you want to come over here so I can just talk to you for a minute or two, please? Okay. Diane, how long have you been working at National now?
I'm starting my 9th year in August, and it's been a interesting time. I've been on 3rd shift, 2nd shift, 1st shift, and hopefully I'll stay on 1st for a while.
Okay, and what's your job now, Diane?
Well, I'm working in the plating room, and I go back and forth between racking and packing. And right now, I'm at the top of the range. I make $8.54 an hour. It hasn't really taken me too long to get there. I've been a racker for 3 years, and when I started racking, I was only making about $5 an hour. So in 3 years, I've gotten up to where I am now.
Good. And let's see, you also are involved with putting out our union newsletter, and what are some of the stories we're covering this month? We have some health and safety stories, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We're talking about asbestos this month and the exposure it has with people and the problems that they might encounter. Not so much in our particular plant in Holyoke, but the one down in Springfield.
Okay. And you've also been involved in a number of other health and safety issues over the years, right?
Well, yeah, our particular division, the metals division, had a high incident of people getting hurt. Plus, we use an enormous amount of chemicals, as you know, in the plating room that causes burns and skin rashes and everything else. So I've been really involved in getting people their workman's comp for the things that they suffer on the job, and that keeps me hopping.
And we also had a number of people who lost fingers on unguarded punch presses in the metals division over the years. Has that problem been pretty well corrected?
Oh, yeah, with the union being in there and demanding that these things be brought up to date as far as safety devices, be it pullaways or guards, I don't believe that we've had a problem with a lost finger or a lost injury due to something like a punch press coming down on someone's hand, I'd say in over 15 years.
Okay, now also, it's interesting that you as a woman are very involved with the union. Has the union tried to encourage you to participate more or to offer you training?
Oh, yeah. Well, I attended the stewards' training classes, and every year they have them, and I go only because I'm pretty sure I'm going to learn something new, and every year I do. And also, last year, I was elected to go by the executive board to the Union Women's Summer School. It was held up at the University of Mass. It was for a week-long conference, and we learned everything you could possibly want to learn. Classes started at 8 in the morning and sometimes didn't end until 11 o'clock at night. But we handled grievance procedures and parliamentary procedure, how to negotiate for child care. I mean, you name it, we did it.
Sounds good. And you're also on their executive board, isn't that right?
Yeah, this is my first year on the E-board, and it's really interesting to listen to all the different problems that go on in the plants and decide this, that, or the other issue. I really enjoy it.
So it sounds like pretty soon you're going to be ready to move on to bigger and better things. You think you might be the president someday?
Hopefully, yeah, Warren, but at this point, I'd like to be elected the chief steward. I filled in for chief stewards when they were out sick, and now I'd like to be elected to the position.
Okay. And how do you think the company would treat people down there if they didn't have a union? Do you think that would make a difference?
Oh, I'm sure there would make a big difference. I'm sure that an awful lot of people, probably myself, would be out the door if there wasn't a union down there.
We were just showing the painting in the other room, freedom of speech. You're somebody like myself who likes to exercise your freedom of speech a good deal. Do you think the union gives you a little bit more protection when it comes to expressing your opinion about problems?
Oh, certainly. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that if there wasn't a union down there and if I had said some of the things I've said in the past, I would have been fired a long time ago.
Well, we're glad you're still with us. Thank you very much, Diane.
Okay, thanks, Warren.
Take it anyway. How's that?
Okay, we're up here with Angel Marrero at one of the housing projects in Holyoke and his rather shy daughter. Angel, you're working at Hamden Papers, right?
Yes, I am.
And that's one of the small shops right next door to National that's also a member of our local. And how long have you been working at Hamden?
For about 4 years now.
Okay, and what's your job now?
I'm a chemical mixer.
Okay, and about how much you make in an hour, Angel?
I make $8.92 an hour.
Okay. Now, a couple times in the recent past, you had a few run-ins with management, and they tried to fire you. Is that right?
Yes, they have.
You want to describe a little bit about what happened the first time?
Well, the first time the foreman lied on me. He says that I threatened to beat him up, and that's not my nature of doing things anyways. But through the union, I got my job back, which I was fired because of the foreman. He lied, and like I said, through the union, I got my job back.
Okay, and then there was a second incident more recently. You want to describe that for us, please?
Yes, the second time that I got fired was because the president of the company thought I was going to swear at him.
He thought you were going to swear at him.
Yes, he thought I was going to swear at him, and so for that I got fired. I was off.
Is he some kind of a mind reader or what?
It seems like it, don't it? Well, I guess so. And well, through the union again, I got my job back. I was out 2 weeks though, but through the union, well, it wasn't permanent. I got my job back.
And everything seems to be going pretty well now, right?
Yes, so far so good.
Okay.
No problems.
How did you feel about the union before these two incidents when they tried to fire you?
Well, before I thought that paying union dues was just a waste of time. I didn't think that union would do anything for you. It's just, you know, to collect money, and that's all I thought it was.
And how do you feel now?
Well, now I know that they stand for something, and they stand for you, you know. I mean, they're there to back you up and to help you whichever way they can.
And now you're a union steward, right, Angel?
Yes, I am. Now I'm a union steward. I got involved in it. I want to help people as well. You know, they helped me, so I want to help people too.
Well, welcome aboard, Angel. It's good to have you. Thank you.
Thank you much.
Good. You may recall that earlier we were talking about how National expanded into Chicago, Los Angeles, and Meridian in the 60s and 70s. Many workers hoped that Dennison National would expand here in Holyoke. Since they decided not to expand in Holyoke, as a stopgap measure, National rented this warehouse space in an abandoned Westinghouse electric factory in Springfield, Mass. All the buildings you see from the trucks all the way down to the far shipping dock is all one huge warehouse owned by National. This building is the factory where the P400, the ruling machines, and the wire inserters are located. It's also located at the old Westinghouse complex in Springfield. National workers were hard hit by the recessions in 1974 and 1981, which reduced union membership from 1,200 to 800 workers. Yet, with speed up and new machines, it felt like we were making more books than ever. In a few minutes, the second shift workers should be coming in, and then the first shift workers going out, and we're hoping you'll have a chance to meet a few more of our members. We're here with Lois Newton, who's waiting to go into work on second shift. Lois, how long you worked with National?
I've worked with National for 7 years.
And what's your job here?
I'm a machine operator.
And about how much do you make an hour, Lois?
$6 and something an hour.
Okay. Do you think the company would treat you the same if we didn't have a union?
No, they wouldn't.
We were talking earlier, you said that there was a talk show on the radio and they're talking a little bit about unions. What was the impression you got from that show about how most people feel about unions?
Most people feel that most jobs should have unions. Because otherwise, you know, because of the management, you know, and I feel it should be a union also.
Do you think you have a little more protection from mistreatment by management when you have a union?
Yes, you do, and you have security. You know, more security with a union.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Lois.
You're welcome.
Okay, my name's Bob Donzie. Work in Department 15. I'm a knife operator. Make $10.95 an hour.
Okay. Do you think the company would treat you the same if we didn't have a union?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they would.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay.
All right, we're here with Bob Wellahan. Bob, what's your job at National?
I'm a group leader.
And about how long have you been working for the company?
30 years.
Okay, and how much roughly do you make per hour?
I'm in the $13 range.
Okay. We had some problems down here recently that you were concerned about, asbestos and some other things. You want to tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, we had asbestos, and we had a real bad area where the roof was leaking over our canteen area. So I got to management right away, and we started complaining about the asbestos, especially in our canteen area. And our engineer, Paul Borick, jumped on the horn, and he got the people that own the complex over, and they fixed it up right away. And then they had somebody come in, and well, I contacted the union, and they had somebody come in from, where was it, the state?
Yeah, somebody came in from the State Division of Occupational Hygiene to do an inspection.
Right, they did an inspection. As a matter of fact, management had me go around with the lady and point out all the areas, and they're in the process of taking care of what needs to be taken care of. It isn't too bad in any other area except for the canteen, which is already taken care of, but they have recommended removing or repairing some other spots.
Okay, so you feel like we're well on the way towards cleaning up that problem?
We definitely are, yeah, we definitely are. It's something that should have been addressed a long time ago. We just didn't happen to see it, but we are taking care of it now.
Okay. How do you feel about having a union in here? Do you think it makes a difference for the way the company treats you? You think you need a union?
Well, I think we definitely need a union. I'm not going to say that the company is going to treat you bad, but without a union, you don't have any say as to what goes on, and the company can put somebody over you. Even like I'm here 30 years, if they wanted to bring somebody in off the street and put them over me, what could I say? They could just say, you know, if you don't like it, leave. Whereas now they have to go through the union, and they're not so willing to do that. You know, I think we help work together, the company and the union, to keep things straightened out. It probably works both ways. With our union rules, it also helps the company. But I feel that without a union, you just wouldn't have the chances that you have now. You definitely need a union to remain strong. I've been a union man for years, and I can't see any other way. I've worked at places that don't have a union, but I'm no longer there. You know, so I feel that we definitely need a union.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob.
Okay.
Well, I'm here with Helen Griffin, who just told me that she was born and raised in Mississippi. Helen, what's your job here at National?
Hand wire.
Okay, and about how much do you make an hour, Helen?
$7.50.
Okay, and do you think the folks in Mississippi would be better off if they brought a union in?
Yes.
Okay, and do you think the union's helping people here?
Right.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot, Helen. Goodbye, come on, come on. Okay, I'm here with Yvonne Elder. Yvonne, how long you worked at National?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, and what's your job now? What do you do?
A clipboard assembler.
Okay, and about how much do you make an hour, Yvonne?
$6.51.
Okay, you were involved with an incident earlier when you were trying to get a merit raise and you weren't too happy with the amount of a raise you got from the company. You want to tell people about that a little bit?
Well, I was putting out 116%, and they gave me a 15-cent raise, and it really made me upset because I figured, like, why should I do as much work as the rest of the other girls, and they're making like $1.33 more an hour than I am. Why should I do the same amount of work?
Yeah.
You know, and I just couldn't understand why they gave me that small of a raise, and it upset me so much. I didn't even like to talk about it.
And as I remember, you got an excellent evaluation. Your foreman said you were doing a super job, and they're very happy with your work, but they just didn't want to give you the money, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so then you went ahead and filed a grievance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a grievance is just a complaint saying you weren't satisfied, and what was the outcome of your grievance?
Oh, I won it. I got a little bit more money, and I was happy that I won it, you know. I got personal satisfaction that I won, you know, but I was still a little bit mad because it still wasn't enough.
Right, we all felt like you still deserved more money.
Yeah, so did I. I was, I don't know. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt I was, you know, I don't even know really how to say it, but I was just glad I won. You know, I was glad that I did get something out of it because everybody was saying to me, you don't have a snowman's chance, you know? And I was like, well, I don't care. I'm gonna try anyways because it's the principle of the thing, you know. I'm working this hard, and I think I should be rewarded for it.
And you deserved it, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I did deserve it. Else, why else would they set, you know, why do they set these, you know, marks for you to, you know, accomplish, and then when you get there and you do this, they don't want to give you anything for it.
Right.
You know, so why should they even set the marks, you know?
Yvonne, is this the first time you ever worked in a union shop?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And when you had to join the union and start paying your dues, did you think you were going to get your money's worth?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Because, well, at first, when I first joined the union, I didn't think anybody really even knew about me. I was, like, hidden away somewhere because, like, Eddie Green, I think he was, came up to me again and asked me if I had joined yet. And I said, yeah, I paid, you know, and everything. And, so he said, okay, we're going to start taking your dues out because they hadn't taken it out for quite a long time, and he said it wouldn't be retroactive since it wasn't my fault. You know?
So are you satisfied now that you're getting some representation from the union?
Oh, yeah, very satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think the company would treat you the same if we didn't have a union?
No. I'm not going to lie because my sister-in-law works for a non-union shop, and I'm sorry, but they get ripped off. They don't get any paid holidays. They don't get any sick time. You know, if they're sick and they're needed, they have to go. Sometimes, like, she works in a nursing home. Sometimes there's, like, I don't know, 20 patients on the floor and they have to work with 2 girls.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like if they were union, they wouldn't have to do all that work, you know? Because, like, the way we work, everything is, like, I don't know, it's balanced out to me. You know, it's not like one person is doing all the work while someone else is sitting on their butt.
Yep.
You know? But that, I liked working for a union, having a union, you know, I like it. I do.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yvonne.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, we're here with George Wright. George has been head of our Health and Safety Committee for a long time. He's also the chief steward down here in G Building. He's on the executive board. George, how long you worked with National?
8 years.
And what's your job now?
I'm a resident mechanic machinist.
Okay, and about how much you make an hour?
$12.
Okay. One of the things people might be interested in is hearing a little bit about a grievance and how the grievance committee works. Could you explain what is a grievance?
Well, a grievance is when somebody thinks that they're right and, say on a job posting, if they have the seniority and they give it to a less senior person, the person has the right to grieve it because they have the more seniority. All right, we are here to protect them and to make sure that the most senior person gets the job.
Okay. And you have quite a few grievances you handle regarding merit raises, right?
Oh, yes, I do. Quite a bit. A few of them, as you know. And we try to fight for them as much as we can. We try to get their rates, time on the study, and everything. And we try to prove to the company that they deserve the money.
They deserve a better raise.
You're right.
Okay. Now, what happens if somebody thinks they have a good grievance and the union really doesn't think it's that good? Is that the end of it, or does the person still have another chance to complain?
Oh, no. The person still has another step to go. on the grievance, and we try to settle it before it gets to the next step anyways.
Okay.
You know, if it does go to the second step and we still can't get an answer, we go right on with it if we think we got a good fight.
Okay. And sometimes grievances get brought before the grievance committee also. We're just trying to decide which ones go forward, right?
Yes, they do, and it's by a majority vote. Everybody listens to the case and the information that we're given and everything. If we decide the person has a chance, we fight for them. If we decide they don't have a chance, we don't fight for them, but we let the person know why.
Right.
We always let them know why, where management don't.
Okay. So sometimes I'll recommend that we not go ahead with the grievance, and the grievance committee will vote to do what?
We'll go ahead. We don't work against you.
So
No.
majority rules, though.
Majority rules, no matter who you are.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about job health and safety. I know it's something you've been interested in for a long time. We had some problem with machine guarding down here in Springfield. What happened when the union complained about that?
Well, we complained and complained, and the company was just holding back. And a lot of times, you know, we proved them that they were wrong. Like the insurance company says it didn't need to be guarded, but we proved by OSHA that it would need to be guarded, and we got them fixed. Yeah. And right now, we're about 100% safe with guarding in there. When I first took over, it was about 40%.
Yeah.
But no problems there.
Okay, we had a problem with the P400 where you recommended putting a guard on it, and they said it couldn't be done, right?
That's the one about the insurance company, where the insurance company come down, looked at it, and says, doesn't need to be guarded. Well, I went to OSHA and talked to them about it, and then I got the original manual of that machine, and the original manual showed guards.
Yeah.
So we put guards on them.
Okay, but before the guard was put on there,
we had a person hurt twice there.
Yeah. And then, as I remember right, a day after the guy got hurt, what did they do?
They put the guards on.
Okay. How about some of the other kinds of health and safety problems that we've addressed while you've been head of the Health and Safety Committee?
Well, we've addressed a lot of chemicals, storage-wise, people using them, the right equipment that they should be using, RF frequency units, which we are into right now. The main part of the safety program is to ensure the people's good health while they work for the company, and we're here to do that.
Yep. Okay. How do you feel about the union itself? I know you've been active with it and involved for a long time. What motivates you to try to get involved with the union and help people?
Well, I like to help people because I worked in a shop where you'd be working one day, the next day they say, there's the door, use it. I like working with people because I like to see their rights upheld. And if they've got the rights, I'll uphold them.
Yeah.
And you know yourself, I have always upheld the rights of people.
Yep. Yeah, you've been a fighter, George. Okay, anything else you'd like to say to the folks in Mississippi? You think they'd be better off if they try to form a union?
Well, they would be better off if they had a union. They would protect themselves, they would protect their job, and they would protect the security of their family if they had a union. Where management can't say, goodbye, it's been nice knowing you. You can't throw a union person out like that.
Do you think they'd be helping us also if they formed a union?
They'd be helping us, and we'd be helping them at the same time. It'd be a brother-brother relationship, and they should be unionized.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, George.
You're very welcome.
I hope you've enjoyed meeting some of our members, and I hope that you'll give serious consideration to forming a union of your own. I think you'd be helping yourselves, and you'd also be helping us out. We feel that the work is going to get done one way or another, and whether it gets done here in Massachusetts or down there in Mississippi, we want whoever does the work to get a decent day's pay, good benefits, and most importantly, to be treated with respect by management. We're willing to do whatever we can to help you, but to be honest, most of it is up to you. You're going to be the ones who are going to have to really wage the battle and come forward and do what has to be done. It's been nice talking to you. Good luck.